Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
It's really funny because you would think now that our season's over that we would have nothing to talk about. We were just talking through all the things that we need to cover because Patty's like, where are we starting? And I was like, well, chronologically, like we always do. And then she's like, well, how far back do we go? And I was like, well, what did we do Friday? And then we started talking about it. And we was like, oh, wait, there was a game on Thursday that we need to talk about too. So we're going to talk through the PWHL playoff games that have happened so far, which there has been 3. Briefly, we're not going to cover them in depth because
it's not the torrent.
And we didn't watch them that closely. Not that we don't care, because we do. We're excited about them. And then we'll talk about this weekend and the things we did this weekend. And then the biggest news, it just got dropped. The
signing periods.
Yeah, so the expansion, so the new expansion rules basically, which are going, and the reason why we're seeing them, which is funny because we kind of got a little inside scoop last night at the football game. It's Sunday afternoon, by the way. So we kind of got a little inside scoop at the football game last night that the players were going to have some more information starting today. And that's because the league sent out what the new franchise rules could look like if the Players Association agrees to them,
right.
To the Players Association today, so that they can have. But the fact that it's being reported as news, my guess is they've already pretty much agreed to this, because had they not, like, I don't think that they would be reporting it as news like they're I mean, everybody's pretty much saying, like, this is what's going to happen. So.
Right, but there's still the caveat in there that it could change.
It could change.
They're looking at it like 4 teams are coming, but if it doesn't happen to be 4 teams, I think the numbers have to change.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, who knows? Yeah. We don't really know, but I think that because they've held all of this as close to their chest as they have, my guess is that they probably have enough of the pieces in place that they're pretty sure that this is the way it's going to go. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back. And so, yes, like I said, there's 3 playoff games that have been played so far. So the first game was played on Thursday evening, and that was Ottawa Charge at Boston. So that looked like it was we have some of our new Boston friends who we met along the way were there, and we're obviously cheering on Boston. So that was really exciting. Was there anything really?
I mean, just that Ottawa pretty much led 1-0 the whole game. And then Boston came back, I think, in the 3rd period, right?
I don't know. That's what you were telling me. So
yeah.
We're looking at the the box score and the play-by-play.
They tied it up, and then they went ahead. Oh no, I guess late in the second.
Late in the second is when they tied it up
and went ahead. Yeah, and ended up winning 2-1. So, and we're rooting for. I mean,
we're rooting for anybody in Minnesota. And again, for anybody who thinks that we're Minnesota haters, we're not. Like, that's not how we feel. We just want someone else to win because they've won 2 years. They've won the last 2 years, and it would be really nice to see somebody else win the cup. It's not because we're Minnesota haters. Like, I think that people get confused when we have the conversations we have about the one specific player on Minnesota that is problematic and
problematic again.
Yeah, been problematic that we're like all Minnesota haters. We're not Minnesota haters. We just want somebody besides Minnesota win because they've won so much.
Like, I have Minnesota in my heart. My family lived there. My family lives there right now. So I love Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just want someone else.
We just want somebody else. Yeah. Someone else to win.
Yeah.
So late in the second, Boston went ahead, and then they obviously kept the win or kept the lead through the end, and then they went ahead 1-0 in that round of the playoffs. So then on Saturday, we'll talk about this first, and then we'll talk about like our lives on Saturday. There were 2 games. So Minnesota and Montreal played their first game in Montreal, absolutely, and they were neck and neck like the entirety of the game. Yeah. So it was, I think, they had 2, and then Minnesota had 2, and then Montreal came back and got two and tied it up, and then it was like 1-1, 1-1, and then they were tied. They were tied at four, and they went into overtime.
Yeah.
And Minnesota, got the final goal, so Minnesota won that game. I think. Oh, go ahead.
Well, just the heartbreaking thing about that game was
Yeah,
that Stacey got a hat
hat trick.
trick. A
Yeah,
hat trick and a loss is just
yeah.
it's excruciating. It's got to be such a like the first hat trick in playoff
History,
history,
yeah. But I'm
and it's
glad
going
she
to
did
be
it at
upsetting.
home. I will say that. I'm
Okay,
really happy it happened at home
yeah.
because that's always my sadness for players is when they can do something big like that, have some big accomplishment. Even like it brings me back to like when we were at MSG and Carpy got the
First goal ever.
first goal ever at MSG for a professional women's hockey player, which I think is a really cool thing. And it's like it silenced the crowd because most of the crowd were New York fans. You know what I mean? Like we weren't silent, but like it really put a hush on the crowd. And how much more electric could that have been had it been a home crowd? That's ooh,
Right.
I'm knocking parts
And
that.
the
Sorry.
hits that rain down when you score a
When the
hat
hat trick,
trick,
yeah,
we've seen a couple
yeah,
happen on visiting ice, and no
yeah,
hats
no
were
hats,
involved
yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah,
So that's just that Laura got to feel that in her home building,
yeah,
and that had to be something really special.
yeah,
So
and heartbreaking. Yes,
heartbreaking at
heartbreaking
the same
at
time.
the loss.
Yeah.
But I think the big news from that game was
Once again,
yeah, Curl did get ejected from the game because of a 5-minute major. And the interesting thing is all the discussion around this. I didn't watch the game, so like I can't sit here and say I saw the hit. Like I did see the hit. I saw the hit that she put on, and it looked very vicious, and her elbow went to her face. Like it looked
and it was retaliatory.
well, so that was what I was going to say is I didn't see what happened preceded it, but like from what everyone said is it was retaliation and that this isn't the first time that she has gone after someone in a retaliatory manner. And so honestly, it's one of my least favorite things about the NHL is I feel like they do a lot of retaliatory, hits and fighting and that sort of thing. And it's like I just want to be like grow up, like you're playing a game. It gets physical, but you're also playing a game, and you don't have to retaliate in a manner, like play hard, win. Like that's retaliation enough to me. Like you don't have to try and hurt somebody, and that's what it felt like she was doing. So the safety committee hasn't ruled on that yet. We don't know if she's going to, be suspended. We're
She
assuming she
should
will.
be
Well, we're all assuming she will be because she did get suspended during the playoffs
last
last year.
season.
So this is again because we now this patterns emerge.
The pattern is
Yeah,
set.
the pattern
Okay.
is emerging, and it's like again, like people who want to call us Minnesota haters, we're not Minnesota haters. We are player safety aficionados, and we would really like all of the players to be as safe as possible. And it feels like this player specifically does
Doesn't
not
give a crap
care.
about it.
Doesn't care about other players' safety. So I get it. People are going to get hurt. We'll talk about the football game we went to on Saturday night. Someone broke a leg, like literally got a leg broken. And I don't think it was retaliatory or, malicious or anything. It just like that happens in sport, obviously. Like people can get hurt. But when you are playing in a way that is I mean, they're calling it dirty,
Yeah.
dirty play. But if you're playing in that way and somebody gets hurt, then it's not fair. Like it's not fair that
And
somebody
it's
got hurt because
gross.
you're mad, like
Yeah.
because you're throwing a hissy fit on the ice and you're gonna go elbow somebody in the face, like
Doing stuff on purpose to hurt
hurt
people. That's
people.
what it looks like.
Yeah,
It's a repeated offense.
yeah,
Like it's not the first time.
no,
It's too much and it's egregious
yeah.
and it needs to be stopped.
Yeah. And you take away any political beliefs or, whatever that we disagree with this person. Like that doesn't even matter at this point. Like and I feel this way about anybody in the league who is playing this way. Like I don't agree with this level of physicality. The physicality is fine. Again, we saw
It's a
somebody get their
physical game.
leg broken at a football game on Saturday night. And it's like, that sucks. Like it sucks for that person, but it's also like it was part of the game. It was just the way they got hit or whatever the case might be. And that happens in hockey too, obviously. Like we've seen that happen. Like just but I don't it did not look like it was unintentional or not on purpose. It definitely looked malicious. So it'll be interesting. All I have to say is
What
it
the
will be
safety
interesting what
committee
the safety
does.
committee comes back with because I'm expecting a suspension, at least a 1-game suspension.
I'm expecting at least two because it happened before and it was one game then.
I'm afraid you're
And
going to be disappointed, but
well, I hope I'm not because obviously there's a pattern and to give the same the same penalty, it doesn't seem to be commensurate. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this last year, when she got suspended too, is that this was like a third offense during the season, and that we didn't feel like one game was enough. But then the argument was like, oh, it's a playoff, so
The
playoffs, blah
playoff
blah
game is like
blah blah blah.
five, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But
anyway,
obviously, it's not changing behavior.
yeah.
Like something needs to happen to change the behavior of
Well,
this person.
and a little bit of my fear too is because I've read the statement that Ken Klee, their coach, the Frost coach, made, is
Sorry,
that
I rolled my eyes really hard.
he defended her, basically like, oh, she's just a physical player. It happens. Like, and that's, like, again, like, I think that's the problem, is that we have to hold all the players, not just her. We have to hold all the players to a higher standard if we really want to make sure that
Everyone is safe.
everyone's safe. Yeah. Just because, like, again, people can get hurt, and they will. Like, it happens. It is a very physical game, but we don't have to do it on purpose. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to be mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so Minnesota is now ahead 1-0 for Montreal in their so that now they go to Minnesota to play. I don't actually it looks like Tuesday is when the next game is. I don't know who plays on Tuesday. Minnesota and Montreal. They play on Tuesday. So thank you to PWHL fan.
But they're still in Montreal. It's 2-2-1.
No. Oh, it is 2-2-1?
Yeah, it's 2-2-1.
Oh, okay, JK. So
No,
they're
it's
still
2-2-1. So
I
they
didn't
play
realize
in
that.
Montreal.
Okay. So anyway, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Boston and Ottawa also played on Saturday, and Ottawa won that one.
Yeah.
So they are now 1-1 in their series. So they played, so that was 2 games that they played in Boston, and so now they go back to Ottawa. Okay.
For 2 games.
For 2 games. So so we'll see what happens there, because they're 1-1 on that series. So anything from that game that you wanted to pull?
Just that it was again, Ottawa scored first.
Yeah.
And we, I can't remember, did Boston tie it up, or did they
I'm
go
pulling
ahead
it up
2-0?
right now.
Okay.
No. We went ahead. That Ottawa went ahead
2-0.
2-0.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a place in our heart for Coach Carla. We want to see Coach Carla win, and we have friends in Boston, so I'm really torn in that series because my heart is pulling me in both directions. And it's hard when that happens. Like, it's easy when the Torrent are playing. I'm rooting for the Torrent, hands down. Like, yeah, I love Coach Carla. I just value her and on her journey. I wish her the very best and want every success and accolade her way. But if she's playing the Torrent, there's no question.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Torrent.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like we have friends in Boston that we met along the way. We haven't been to Ottawa, but Coach Carla's
for sure. And I love Gwen Phillips. Like, I will say, she's one of my favorite goalies. Like, I just love her personality in general. Like, she's such a fun personality, but like, she's a really fun goalie to watch. All of our goalies in this league are fun to watch, but she's a really fun goalie to watch. So I think that for me, like, too, because Jessie Eldridge also comes to mind with Boston, because obviously she was a Torrent, and
she's ripping it up. And
she's doing really well in Boston. So it's hard, because it's funny, like, the game comes on and then it's like, ooh, who am I rooting for? I'm not really sure, but I'm excited. They're tied 1-1. I mean, again, like, it's selfishly, I'm like, if they take it to 5 games, that means more hockey, right?
You like more hockey?
More hockey equals more hockey equals more better, no matter what. Yes. So more hockey, more better. Yeah. Okay, so that's where we are in the playoff standings right now. So moving into this week, Tuesday, there is a game between Minnesota and Montreal. And then Thursday, there is another game between Minnesota and Montreal. So that could potentially be the last game of the series. We don't know at this point.
So Ottawa and Boston don't play
until Friday. Right. Okay. Yep. So then
change venues, but still.
Yeah. But so does Minnesota and Montreal.
Yeah, they do, and they played earlier. Yeah. So they only get like.
Yeah, I'm sure it was scheduling of the arenas, whatever. So okay, so that's where we're at, and there was a game. Well, oh yeah, so they have Boston and Ottawa on Sunday too. So there are many games this week, guys. There's still plenty of P-Dub to watch out there if you're interested. We're also obviously following along with the Stanley Cup Finals, because the Anaheim Ducks went ahead in the second round. Sorry to all of our friends in Edmonton. We know lots of Brian. We're gonna have Clink Brian out. Brian's from Edmonton, so I'm sorry that we beat them, but we're really happy to see the Ducks move forward, and it's actually really exciting. Yeah. It's really exciting to have them in the. It's just
been a minute.
I know, and it's just good to have like postseason hockey that anyway.
Yeah.
Since the Torrents aren't in it. So, okay. Are we good?
I think we're good.
For the week of P-Dub.
Well, in the playoffs in the P-Dub, we're
okay. Good. Okay, so that's so 1-1 Ottawa and Boston, and 1-0 Minnesota and Montreal. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We got more
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving on to the weekend, Saturday morning, we took the kids to the Museum of Flight. We're gonna give a huge shout out to our friend Ashley. Ashley's
Thank
actually
you,
the one
Ashley.
who is designing my dress for the Lifelong Gala. If you've been following along on our social media, you've seen there we've been putting some posts up. The name of her label is So Hot Right Now, SEW, So Hot
So
Right Now.
hot. She
It's really
goes
cute.
very
Yeah,
hot.
it's so hot right now. Anyway, so Ashley also works at the Museum of Flight, and so the Museum of Flight, for those that are here locally in the area. Uh, it's kind of the Boeing Museum. It's got all the old planes and that sort of thing, and they do events there. And they do the big event once a year because Monday is May the 4th. So this episode is coming out on Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Day to all that celebrate. I
May the
forgot to
fourth be
say that.
with
May the
you.
4th be with you. But that because it's for the weekend they did the May the 4th celebration on Saturday. So we got to take the boys to the May the 4th. It was really fun. They had
Lightsaber duels, and they had lightsaber
demonstration.
demonstration, but instruction. The
Instruction,
boys didn't
yeah,
want to do
that they didn't want to do it, which was really funny. They had like coloring stations. They had a little cantina set
it.
up. They had story time, brass band,
Story
yeah, story
time.
time. It was really really fun. So I definitely, if you're local, and especially if you have kids, and if you don't have kids, it's still fun because I had a good time, and I'm an adult.
With no kids.
Yeah, no,
There
for
are
sure.
people there all
Dressed up.
decked
I mean,
out.
people dressed up. Like we had Star Wars like shirts on, but like there were people like dressed up. And Ashley, our friend, was an
Dressed up
Ewok.
like an Ewok.
She was
She
really
really
cute. It was really cute. So it's just a really fun nerdy thing. And if I feel like probably most of the people who are fans of our show are probably big nerds. So you guys will probably be down for this. If you didn't know about it, there you go. It's an event that happens every year at the Museum of Flight. So we did that on Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, evening,
Evening.
we went
Picked up
to
Ryan.
we picked up Brian. Oh yeah, Brian Clink. We picked up Brian and we went to the Seattle Majestics game. So again, if you follow us on social media, you know that this all happened. And we found out very, very last minute, because I think that it was just a scheduling thing, that CJ was going to do the coin toss at the game. So that was really exciting too. We had already planned to go, but we were excited that we were going to be there for that. And then when we got there, it wasn't just CJ, it was Megan Carter too. So they were both there to do the coin toss, which was really fun. And it was, it was a really fun. I personally feel like it's just a good, fun atmosphere. And we met a lot of fun people. You've got,
Oh yeah, Anna was there.
well, yeah, we saw
our
Anna. Yeah,
our
yeah.
ticket winner.
Yeah, so Anna was our 1,000th follower.
Yes.
And then it's really interesting, guys. It's probably going to happen before tomorrow. We're getting close to 2,000, and we'll put it out on social media. But I think when we get to 2,000 on Instagram, we're probably going to like send somebody like a little gift in the mail or something, because we're like, we don't have tickets to any games to give right now. But yeah, we just want to.
Anything.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff. So anyway, so we saw Anna.
We met the quarterback's mom.
Yes, the quarterback's
Mia.
Mia.
She sought us out. It was very sweet.
It was very sweet. Yeah, she stopped us and she's like, "Are you Gloves Off Seattle?" A couple people yelled, "Gloves Off Seattle!" So it was really fun to get to see everybody. Bailey,
a handful of people in Torrance here. Sorry to.
Oh no! There were people there.
Jackson jerseys in a couple spots.
Yeah, and CJ was signing autographs, so that was really cool because I think that the person that I didn't catch that person's name. The person that talked to us on the way in said that they had gotten their shirt signed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. So
yeah, and they were also signing footballs before they.
Oh yes, yes.
During the first.
No, that was during the leg break.
That was during the leg. Yeah, when the broken leg.
So I also want to give a shout out to Bailey, our friend Bailey, who's a fan of the show. Friend of ours from the Torrent, volunteered there in the snack bar, which is really cool and awesome. So I know that Majestics appreciate you, Bailey. It was fun getting to see you there for sure.
Absolutely.
And so it was really funny because they said they were like, "Oh, we could see CJ and Megan down on the bench, but like we could see what was going on. Just CJ and Megan on the bench." Oh, it was really funny. So the game starts and CJ and Megan did the coin toss, which was fun, and they were totally into it, and the crowd cheered, and it was really fun.
It was.
And then the game starts, and then very quickly into the first quarter,
LA scores.
But then I think it was before that the leg break.
It was
after that. Okay.
After that.
So this player, I mean, we didn't really see the hit that happened. This
Mm-mm.
player
I
went
wonder if I could
down.
see it. It's got to be on YouTube
It's
somewhere.
probably is
Yeah.
because they do stream, just so everyone knows. If you can't get to a game or you're not local, they stream all their games on Victory Plus. So all the games for the entire WNFC. Let me make sure I say that correct. So all the women's tackle football in the league that across the entire nation, they stream those on Victory Plus. So which is a free app you can get.
That's
We can
awesome.
get it. You can get it free through like Roku or whatever. So
Yeah.
just FYI. Okay, so this player goes down and trainers run out immediately. The team ends up getting out on the field around both teams get out on the field around the player. And then we see, the EMT show up and we're like, oh
Paramedics.
my gosh, like what's going on?
Then the
So
ambulance showed up.
yeah. So we Riley, who's the PR person for the team, her and her husband were wandering around, so we got to talk to them and
And Dan, sending healing
yeah,
love to you.
yeah,
Dan tore a calf muscle,
yeah.
so hope you
He
heal
was in a
quickly.
boot too,
I
yeah.
know.
So, but yeah, so they said that the player had a bad break. It was a bad break. But again, I don't think it was a malicious tackle or anything like that. It's just, the unfortunate part of the
It's a
game.
tackle football game.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate part of the game. So during that intermission, quote unquote, where they, where
Timeout.
basically the whole game stopped for about 20 minutes to get that all taken care of. CJ and Megan were throwing footballs.
Little, yeah,
Yeah,
little
little
rubber,
rubber.
plastic
Yeah.
rubber.
And CJ was, I don't know if Megan was too. I know CJ was signing some of them before
Yeah,
they
before they
threw
tossed
them.
them.
So,
And
and oh,
CJ's arm.
got an arm.
Holy cow.
I know. We were sitting close to the back of the top of the
Stands
stands, and they were going over our head
over our
easy.
head.
I was actually like, I don't think I want to get in front of that. Like that's how much I was like,
It's a little rubber
oh.
toy, but still.
But CJ did play baseball, so I
They
did
did.
it. I do want to. The arm. The arm is, I think, from a relic from the baseball days. So
Yeah.
anyway, it was very fun. It was a very fun night. Unfortunately, Seattle did lose.
Yeah. Got shut out.
Got shut out. Yeah.
And I don't know. It wasn't very sportsmanlike.
Yeah, so it got weird after the game, which is so the last game we were at, and I think we talked about this, like after the game, everybody went down the field, both teams, family, friends, everybody's on the field, hanging out, big love fest, like hugs, kisses, like
It was
it was great. It
amazing.
was really, we were just like, oh my gosh, this is what, women's sports should be all about, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. It was not that way with this LA team.
No.
And I don't want to like throw anybody under the bus, but I guess there was just some icky things that got said and people's temper, the tempers flared and it got real tense. So, we got to go out on the field and chat with
Some of the
some of the
players.
players. So we saw Naomi. Shout out Naomi.
Yeah.
It's
We
good
saw
seeing them.
Risky.
Risky and Zumi. I had to check out Zumi's makeup because Zumi has the most amazing makeup, so it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really fun.
And we
And
met
so
Savannah.
we met Savannah. Oh yeah, so I want to talk about the
Oh yeah.
equipment. Okay, so this is really interesting. So we had a great conversation with the player after the game ended because she was standing on the field. Her name's Savannah. She was standing on the field and she
Sad
had
underscore 89.
yeah, sure. I'm glad you remember that. She had these two like straps, and I'm motioning with my arms, but I'll describe when I'm motioning. These two
Like
straps
hanging out
coming
from
out from under her
her
armpits. Yeah,
armpits.
from under her armpits. And I'm like, what is this? Because I've never played football before. I've never like been close to football equipment. Like I don't know what anything is, right? And she's like, oh, it's the shoulder. It's the strap that goes around your chest that holds the
Keep your
shoulder
shoulder pads
pads
on.
down and tighten them up and make them tight. And
So that
then
opened up a whole
right.
conversation because my wife has been
I'm
wondering about
wondering,
this for a
yeah.
while.
I'm like, so are there female football pads? Because I was like, how do you? And then because Savannah started to go down the road of, well, some of the women who have larger, who are larger chested, this is a problem. So I said, wait. I said, so is there female football equipment? There is not. So first and foremost, Adidas. Okay, I don't want to. I'm going to do it. Adidas is a sponsor of theirs, and
Gives them all their equipment.
they still don't have
Any female
equipment. So I'm struggling with this, but I want to bring light to it because I think number one, I didn't know and I had the question. Everything that they're wearing is designed for men. It's not designed for women. And so what Savannah said, which I think is really important, is the problem is especially with the shoulder pads with the women who are larger chested is they have to buy a larger size to fit their chest and then it doesn't fit their shoulders and then they get hurt because they can't.
Their equipment is not.
It's
protective
protected.
anymore.
Yeah. So, and we talked about the fact that there is women's hockey equipment now, and I think that is a newer thing. Like, I don't think it's always been that way. And I just think anyway, I think it's really important. It's a really important conversation. Like she even like pointed out the crotch of the pants. Like they're built for men. Like they're not built for women. And so because I wondered that watching, like looking on the field and watching them move. I'm like, I wonder if any of this. And she's like, no, nothing is made for us as women. It's just all universally for men. So it's an interesting conversation, just like the conversation about the pipeline for the tackle football, because there's not one. There's not high school tackle football for women. There's not college tackle football for
And
women.
I think that's where hockey
Yes.
diverted, because there is that pipeline, and there
Right.
is high school hockey, and there's pee wee hockey for women, and as it has grown, now there's equipment for women. So yeah,
For sure. So I just think it's important. We plan, so just so everybody knows that their final home game. So I think they haven't had a town game next weekend, but their final home game is May 16th. We're planning on being there, minus any, catastrophes or sick children. We were supposed to go to the Mariners game today. That didn't happen because we got sick kiddos. But it's anyway, we're planning on being there on
absolutely
May 16th. Yeah, so that's their final home game, and they're playing against Oregon. And from what I hear, Oregon brings up a contingent, and so I want to make sure that
we have lots of butts
we're
in the seats.
Yeah, we're represented as well. So if you can make it out May 16th, it would be really great just to support them and support the growth of that league. So anything else about the game? Anybody else we need to?
Oh, well, Amy is going to hook us up with balloons next time, so we have stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
She's attached to number 53.
Yeah.
Her partner.
Her partner, yeah. So we met Amy as well. And just everybody, like, again, Seattle, like, hands down, like the Seattle team, just so friendly. I mean, we talked to the coaches. I mean, like, everybody's just friendly and jovial, and it was a good time. And Brian came with us and took some amazing pictures. Oh yeah, the clink. Took some amazing pictures. He put together this amazing reel of the day, and anyway, Brian's killing it on social media, guys. I just want to put that out there.
He really is. Thanks,
all
Brian.
of our good stuff coming out on social media right now is 100% Brian. So thanks, Brian. Brittany's doing a good job too, but there's not. I haven't seen any since the game on anything,
right,
but yeah, the Pride game, but
which was amazing.
It was amazing. No,
they both
yeah,
put together
oh my gosh.
Game. Oh my gosh, that
I cannot wait. I think Brittany does other sports now. I think that they've moved on to the rain. I think that's what they do.
I think so too.
Yeah. So, and not
which
that
is great. Women's sports.
Yeah, more women's sports. It's all good. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Brian. He's doing a great job right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our weekend. It's now Sunday, and we have now gotten as much information as anybody has about the expansion draft or not expansion draft. I don't even know if it's signings. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna call this.
Windows.
So the way this has been described, and I'm going to give a huge shout out. I don't know who runs this account, but I'm going to give a shout out to them. pwhl.report. It's an Instagram account. They have a ton of followers. So if you follow us, you probably follow them too. But they put out a carousel that has everything bullet pointed for all the phases. So there is going to be 5 phases of expansion signing, and the first thing
before the draft.
Well, before the regular, the incoming, the rookie draft, right? Like, what do we call it? You call that a rookie draft? What do you call that?
I guess I don't know. I call it the draft.
But it's not an expansion draft.
It's not an expansion draft.
Yeah, not the expansion draft. Yeah. So I think it's really funny because we have many group chats about PWHL, and like all of them are going off right. Yeah, they are. Like I keep seeing like all these notifications coming through because everybody's talking about this. So we're gonna try and get this we're going to try and do the best we can with the information we have. And we are not in any way, shape, or form experts about this. We just want to get the information out and, correct us if we're wrong. If you have other information.
Yeah. I will be wrong.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you have other information, if you know something, like, feel free, chime in. Yeah, please. Chime in. Like, because we're going to do the best we can with what we got. So the first thing I want to say before we go into what each phase is that I feel like what has happened with all of this is that they are, whether it's their hand has been forced because the Players Association said you had to, or the league has just said we want to make this a better situation for the players. I feel like that's what's been done in all this.
Definitely skewed in the players towards the players in their satisfaction. I think.
Yeah,
and a little more control
and choice. Like I think that's kind of the number one word I think that's come out. The choice that the players are going to have choices. They're not necessarily, and there may come a time during all of this where there may be what is Brian been saying? A draft might be wafered in through all this if it's necessary, a mini draft, right. If it's necessary, but that for the most part, the players are going to have the control. And there's some salary information in here, which is definitely putting a lot of players in a better position salary wise. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Like I said, I'm going to use the bullet points from the pwhl.report because I think that they just did an excellent job putting this together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But what we know right now that phase one, they're calling it initial protection and expansion negotiation, is probably going to start May 28th or close there too, right? So the existing teams can protect or sign up to 3 players. And so I think from what I understand that, yeah, like I think that the goal is to get 3 players signed at this point. Like that's going to be the protection, is that they can, there's different kinds of contracts now that they can put out. And we'll go over that here in just a second. So free agents are eligible for expansion. So the teams must sign them to protect them. So unrestricted and restricted free agents. So I think this is something we've been talking about, is that, it doesn't matter, they're going to be a free agent. We don't have to worry about protecting them, but that's, we need to worry. Yeah, because, and it's not because they can be taken in a draft. It's just, they can be offered a contract at this point, which I think it's obviously much different than it was last year. Because last year during expansion, they were completely off the table they were, when the signing window opened for unrestricted free agent, obviously then everybody came to was on the table for that. But this is a different situation. But they had a signing window before the expansion draft, because that's when Hillary and Serdachny and all them came. Okay, right. So maybe this is just a little more formalizing what we did last year, now that I said that out loud. Okay. You know what I mean? Because they signed like 5 players at that point.
They did. So maybe they're putting phases to what they didn't have phases to before, instead of just saying this is an expansion draft, saying these are the windows that are happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay, so and then expansion teams can negotiate with pending free agents but can't sign them yet. So that's kind of where we're at. But I think so basically the question mark is, and like, let's bring it back to like the torrent, because that's our what we're thinking about, is that what's going to happen May 28th is that the torrent we're going to probably try and sign 3 players at that point that are existing, that are free agents, would be my guess, that we want to make sure we have here and are under contract. So if we had to guess, we're going to guess Hillary Knight, Alex Carpenter, and then it's a toss-up between Barnes and Bilka. Yeah. I think, if I had to guess, I think that's probably, we're not sure whether it would be Barnes or Bilka, but...
Or Murphy?
Yeah, but Murphy's not a free agent.
Okay. That's true.
Barnes isn't a free agent either. No. I don't know if Bilka is. I don't remember whether she signed a multi-year deal or not.
Yeah.
So, anyway... I don't know. We don't know.
Like we said, I'm not an expert on this, and I definitely don't have the stats in my head to wrap.
But that, I mean, just here's our that's our minor prediction about what's going to happen during phase one. We're probably more than likely. I mean, Hillary said she wants to stay. I mean, they've all said they want to stay, but Hillary said she wants to stay. I can't imagine them not negotiating with her first and signing her first, and then her emotional support person, Alex Carpenter, coming with her.
Absolutely, because you know what? Multiple franchises are... The aquarium needs her.
I know. That's right. That's right. We need her.
Everyone needs
Harvey, you have to stay. Okay, so then we go into phase 2. So target list and primary signing. So this is really interesting because each expansion team are going to have to submit a 20-player list that they... a 20-player list that they have they're targeting for negotiation. So at this point, expansion teams can sign up to 5 players. So
from that list,
right? So that's the thing, is that they have to basically declare who they're going after. And my guess is it's going to be public knowledge. We're all going to know it. Right? Yeah, we're going to all know it. Yeah. So this is where this account explains the different contract types, or at least names them. So the expansion franchise offer, the EFO, one per team binding if offered. So there's not a negotiation, I guess, and I guess they have to sign it. So and there's one of those per team. So in essence, that's basically a draft. I mean, like they don't have an option if they offer it to them.
They don't have an option, and they get the money. They get $1,000 guaranteed, or their salary, whatever's higher.
100,000.
Sorry, not a grand. That would be horrible.
Yeah,
100,000, or their salary, whichever is higher. Which is great.
So that's the minimum six figures, which has not been that is actually unusual because there is very few players in our league right now that are making six figures. So the fact that they're guaranteeing a six-figure salary to these players that are getting, I mean, again, they're not calling it a draft, but in essence it is because they don't have a choice. It's binding at that point.
Right.
So, but
these are banner players. That's why you got to give them the money. Right. They don't have a choice, so you need to pay them.
Well, and the thing is the expansion teams are going to really have to decide who they want to spend $100,000 on too, because that's a lot. I mean, that's a big chunk of their salary of their salary cap. So, and we're assuming we're still going to have salary caps. We're assuming probably they're going to go up based on the numbers that we're seeing here as far as salaries, which is great. Which is what we need. Which is great. Yeah. So the contract length can be 1 to 4 years, and for
and that's up to the players. They get to decide how.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. That's
which
cool.
Is amazing.
But also that if they sign a multi-year deal, they get a 20,000 upfront, but 20,000 grand upfront. 20 grand. I'm sorry, upfront bonus. I'm having a really hard time.
Yeah.
So that is one per team. So one of those per, and we're assuming there's going to be 4 teams. We don't know for sure right now, but so there will be 4 players in the league, more than likely, that will be scooped up with no choice but to go to an expansion team. So put a bow on that.
Yeah.
So the second kind of offer is the foundational player offer, and it's not a binding. So it's a 2-year contract. The first year is for 80 grand. The second year is for 82.5. So they do go up. Mm-hmm. And if declined, the player must sign in phase 3 to their current team at 90% of that value.
Right. I'm sure that's 90% or more, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember whether I read. So somebody can chime in on that. Can they get more than that? Is there a possibility of more than that? I would hope so too, but maybe not. And
maybe that's the incentive to sign,
right? Because they can get
trying to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the additional rules for this are existing teams can lose up to 3 contracted players in this phase. So that's much like last year. You know, they could lose up to. I mean, we're going to have 3 players protected at this point, under contract, whatever. Right. 3 players protected at this point, and we can lose up to 3 contracted players in this phase.
And it comes out later that we can only lose max of 4, right? Okay.
Yes.
Which makes me a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Still.
If expansion teams do not sign 5 players, they can select unprotected contract players from their list. So that's when Brian was saying, like, we kind of have the sprinkling in of like the potential
mini drafts,
because if they can't get enough people to sign, which, I mean, I don't know, like there were people who wanted to come to Seattle, there were people who wanted to come to Vancouver, so they may be able to get enough people to sign that we don't have to go into a draft situation. But the caveat is obviously that they have to sign 5 players at this point. So okay. So now in phase 3, and we don't have timelines for any of this, guys. We just know it's going to pop off May 28th, but we don't know otherwise.
There are some tentative dates out there that I saw, but I don't see them on here. But it's happening end of May, beginning of June. By the time the draft is.
So and also just so everybody knows, the draft is going to be on June 17th. They haven't said where, but I know that it is June 17th. They have set a date for the draft. So, gosh, like the second time today. It's, I don't know. I think it's just this isn't in the. It's in a
sorry, we're
not
watching.
Okay, so in phase, so June 17th. So all this is going to happen between May 28th and June 17th. We're assuming that all this is going to be complete by the actual draft.
It must be.
Yes. So phase 3, additional protections and signing. So at that point, we can protect or sign 3 more players. So we'll have a total of 6 protected players, which is more than last year, because we could only protect 4 players last year.
They could only protect more.
Well, yes, the original 6 teams could only protect 4 players. So now we're getting 6 protections, which is great. And players on expiring contracts may sign with any team at that point. So that's when basically free agency starts. Yeah. So So we'll probably see some moving around in the league, would be my guess at this point. Obviously our hope is that we can keep and woo everybody back here to Seattle, but we'll probably see some moving around. So expansion teams can sign up to 3 additional players during this window. So that free agents can decide to go to the expansion teams. And so at this point, they're going to know who the foundational players are, who they're, who all of that.
Their list of 20 that has to be.
Well, they have their list of, their list of 20, but also, I don't know if they have to work from that list during this.
Maybe not.
I think that list I think the initial list is probably just for that. 2? Yeah.
Okay. And remember, those players in phase 2 that did not sign must sign in this phase.
Right, they have to sign with their original team. Yeah, so
if they decline the expansion.
Yeah, and so then the question mark is, and this has kind of been flying around, like, what if they don't? Like, are they out of the league at that point? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't even think that they wouldn't sign.
And my guess is they probably will. I mean, my hope is that all of these negotiations are, number one, happening with their agents, because the players' agents are, almost all the players that we've talked to have agents, as far as I know. And I can't imagine the players' agents not having the conversations with the player and with the teams, and knowing the players saying, I know I want to stay with my team and I'm willing to take 90% of 80,000. That's math. Not my strong suit, but I'm willing to take that amount to stay in my current situation, which for some people that's going to be, what did Brian say? Like the, going to the aquarium and being with your friends, outweighing money, because like that's really like
feeding goats.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it was just really, it's true. It's like the bonds that they built this season is that, and other teams too, who have been together now. I mean, some of these players have been together for 3 years. It's like, are those bonds going to outweigh the financial impact? And I think that'll be different for every person, right? Some people are going to go with the money, and some people are going to stay because they feel like they're in a good franchise and they're in a good organization and they want to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's phase 3. Phase 4 is roster completion. So each expansion team must have 10 players each. So that's 40 players.
If they're saying 4 teams, which I think it's going to be.
How does that math with 8 current teams and 4 from each?
Well, we can lose 4. That's 32. So that's not going to fill all of those spots, right? That's 8 spots remaining that won't come from other teams. So I don't think everyone is going to have 10 at this point. So if they don't, they can get them in other ways.
They sign with expansion.
Right.
Well, I mean, we can only lose players that are. Wow, I don't know how that works, because that doesn't math.
Well, but remember we can only lose players that are contracted past. So now we're talking about the players that are not contracted. I think that's the ones that we don't consider them lost.
Okay,
because
they're free agent. Oh, I get it. Okay, so this is making a little more sense now. Okay. So expansion teams must reach 10 players. The remaining unprotected players may sign with the expansion teams. And if needed, expansion teams may select unprotected contracted players. So then that's basically like, we have our 6 that are protected, whether they're signed or just protected. I don't know how that works, but we have our 6 that are protected. So anybody else that's under contract at that point, then they're eligible for a potential draft.
Right. And this is where we can only lose
4 contracted players. Okay, by the end of this phase.
Yes.
So I guess the chances is we may lose no one who's a contracted player. I mean, I guess that's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Interesting.
And I wonder how much the choice is, because some, like the one where they offer that contract, you have to take it, or sign later, or you don't have any option, you have to take it, whatever. Like, can our contracted players, like, if they try to get them over, can they say no? Can they not?
I think each team will get 1 player that can't say no.
Right. So at this point, they can try to woo our players.
No, I think that we'll have a draft at this point if they don't have 10 each.
Okay.
I think that we'll have a no choice situation again.
Okay.
If they don't have 10 each. I think Megan's going to put her business hat on right now. I think what the league is trying to do is make it as fair as possible for the players. Like, here, we're going to give you guys choice. You have a choice. There'll be 4 players within the league that won't have a choice. But my hope is, honestly, that at this point, the teams already know where they're going to be, and they probably already have their eye on somebody that they're going to make this offer to.
They
That probably, I
must.
mean, because
I
you
don't
think
know.
about like Hillary Knight wanted to be in Seattle. We know this 100%. She wanted to be here. Like, so had this happened last year, Hillary Knight would have been our whatever that it was called, the
That
EPO,
yeah, that one player that had
EFO,
yeah.
sorry, expansion franchise offer. That was she would have been our one offer. She would have been our you cannot say no to this, but she wouldn't have said no to it anyway. And you're
So
gonna
maybe
get
she wouldn't have because I think she would have come anyway, but maybe somebody else would have tried to get her, so we would have had to take
yeah,
her.
maybe. Yeah. So anyway, so long story short, and like the other thing is like what order are they going to go in? Like, how are they going to order them as far as like the choice of like extending contracts? I don't know. This sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
So yes, by the end of so taking a breath back to kind of thinking how we did it last year, the differences are we're going to have 6 total protected players at the end of the day. We're going to only lose 4 contracted players. So when we talk about that, when we talk about maximum of 4 contract players, which we talked about that before, like Hannah Murphy is in a multi-year contract. So she is a contracted player. Whereas Hillary Knight, Alex Carpenter, and there's others, but those are the ones that comes top of mind, are now unrestricted free agents after this season because they only signed 1-year contracts when they came to Seattle. Mm-hmm. So that's the mega difference between them. So like a Hannah Murphy could potentially be affected in this. Not that Hillary Knight and Alex Carpenter couldn't be as well because their free agency is now open for the expansion teams, but it would be more of a wooing situation of like, hey, you should come here because we're going to give you this, this, and this, other than like, we're just taking you, like what they did last year in the expansion draft.
Right.
Okay. And then phase 5 is the free entry draft. That's
entry
what
draft.
I knew there was
yes.
I knew there was a name for it. So
was,
free agency and entry draft. So at this point, all the free agents can re-sign with their current teams, or on June 19th, which is after the entry draft, they can go into a league-wide free agency. So then they can decide. So if we have people who are unsigned, restricted or unrestricted at that point, they have to wait till after the draft, but then they can go anywhere they want, or they can re-sign with us. Right. That can happen too. Expansion teams are going to continue to build their rosters through the entry draft, which just says expected June 17th. So we think that date's pretty firm. And teams must issue qualifying offers to retain players' rights. So I think that, yeah, I mean, I'm just harping back on the fact that it sounds like we are doing well by the players. So if anybody has a different take on that, chime in.
Tell us.
Let me know because I feel like. I feel good about it. I feel like if we're going to have expansion, like, because when they were like, we're not going to have an expansion draft, I'm like, how are they going to do this? Like, how are they going to build teams that are going to be competitive? And it's like, I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach to think about losing people.
Absolutely.
But it's like, how are you going to build teams that are competitive if you don't have a way to get players to go other than, hey, just come play for us? You know what I mean? So, because it's not going to be as attractive, for some players, obviously, like, especially if it's closer to home, because, there's rumors now, Las Vegas, San Diego. Like, I mean, we've got some Southern SoCal girls on our team that may want to go play closer to home, which I would totally get that. Like, I get it. Like, being close to home, being close to family, that's important. And also just like being able to have your family come to games and all that kind of stuff. Like, anyway.
Family, friends.
Yeah.
Just to be in a location that feels like home to you.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So again, I wanted just big shout out to PWHL report.
Thank you,
yes.
Thank you.
The key structural rules that they pointed out, which I think are great. Total protections per existing team is 6 players. So we said this over and over again. Mm-hmm. So we will be able to protect 6 players. Maximum contracted players lost per existing team is 4.
Contracted players.
Right. Expansion teams build to 10 players through the process. And then this is completely, replacing a traditional expansion draft. Although there may be mini drafts, and if they can't fill out their rosters in a efficient enough manner,
right?
So
it's a lot, guys.
It is a lot. I'm
not gonna pretend.
No, and we'll walk through. I mean, we'll walk through all this. So the thing is, here's the deal. I think probably we'll save. I mean, geez, June is so busy, but like it sounds like we're going to save most of June for talking about this. We do have the Seattle Pride Classic tournament. We had a really awesome opportunity to talk to Joey, one of their founders. We will put that episode out probably, I'm going to say probably the week before all this is going to go down, just so we don't get lost in all the expansion stuff. But
we want to shine a light on Seattle.
Oh Pride. Yeah, and we'll be there. We will be at the Seattle Pride Classic. We have another event that the Lifelong Gala is that weekend, but we will. We're going to be there for as much as we can be before I have to go get ready and put on this dress. Anyway, so so there's a lot coming up, guys. I don't think that we're going to have a lack of things to talk about.
No,
we're excited to find out where the draft is. We would love to be there if that's possible. We don't know if that's possible because number one, it's in the middle of the week, which with jobs and kids sucks. But I mean, if we can make it happen, if we can swing it, I mean, if we, us, we'll do a crazy in and out trip, no problem. Like we could be there for a day.
Been there, done
that.
Go back, go there, come back, go back. No,
we're not going to do that. But if it's someplace that we can get to quickly and it's not too inconvenient for us to make that happen, who knows what we will do. But just FYI, it sounds like most of June is going to be talking about expansion and draft, and we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about. But yeah. What else? I know it's a lot.
I mean, I think that's it.
Yeah. So playoffs, obviously, first round of playoffs are gonna continue this week. Probably by next weekend, it'll be decided as to who's going to be in the Walter Cup final, and so we'll talk about that. We're excited about that. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else.
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, that was a long one, but there was a lot to talk about, and I'm sure there'll be more to talk about. I'm sure this stuff just dropped this morning. Right. So I'm actually kind of glad we talked about recording last night, and I was like, I don't know, because I feel like we're going to get some expansion news, so I'm really glad we waited, because I feel like, even though it's a little jumbled, our information around this, we still, we feel like we've got, we at least know what the next step's going to be, so.
Yeah.
Now we just need to know where. I don't know. Now I'm thinking, they're going to try and do more Western maybe North America to make it a conference system. That's what keeps getting thrown around in our circles, is that they want to make it a conference system. So for less travel. So if they do 12 teams, 6 and 6, and try and get 6 that are on this side of North America and 6, they already have 6 that are on the other side. Well, they would need to add 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would need to add 1 over on the
Minnesota's kind of in the middle.
Well, yeah, I think we consider they would be considered West. I mean,
yeah,
the Wild is considered West, aren't they? Yeah, so I think they'd be considered West. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah. That was a lot.
I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you. I took it from her. Sorry, babe.
It's okay. Okay. We will continue with this next week. And just, we didn't say this. This is the official start to year 2. So last week was the ending of year 1. This is the official start to year 2. May 5th is actually the birthday, the birthday of our anniversary, whatever you want to call it.
Potiversary.
Anyway, so that was the date that the first episode came out. So, it's just crazy that all this is happening again.
Yeah.
Expansion again.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we going to talk about next summer when there's no expansion?
Oh my god. Let's get through this year.
Yeah, we're going to get through this year.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
It's been fun. It's been a good year.
It has been a good year. Yeah. I agree. Okay, we'll talk to you next week. Oh, shoot. I forgot about the last word. I almost really forgot about the last word. Hey, Patty, what's your last word?
My last word, some people put it as one word, but it's a lot. This has been a lot.
If they don't know how to,
if they don't know, a lot is 2 words. Yeah. But those are my last words for today. This has been a lot. Yeah. And I think it will continue. And I think I like the way the league just makes it their own. And they just, do things that.
Our game, our rules.
That's right. That's right. That's what Barbie says.
Our game, our rules.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I have to do it a certain way. I'll do it the most complicated way I can find.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be reading the rules.
Yeah, I think that, obviously we'll learn as we go, but our hope, and I'll say this, we won't belabor this anymore, but our hope is that we just get our 4 teams, pull this Band-Aid off of our expansion, and then be done for a little while, and get the league. Because the league is moving in an amazing direction right now. Obviously, fandom, everything is just exponential growth. Everything we see exponential. So let's get 4 more teams, and then maybe a conference system, and just be and just
Take
be
a
living
breath.
it for a while.
Yeah.
Living
Yeah.
it.
Perfect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.